Park. Chips are down for 7 stakes races worth $100,000 each. Bet to win Saturday night. Sam Houston, first post, 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific.
We are back. Yes, you guys, March Madness is finally here, and we're ready to break down the matchups that are going to make you all that money. That's why we're here. Yes, I'm Lisa Kerney, and this is FanDuel Sportsbook's March Madness edition of More Ways to Win. Welcome in, everybody. Our gambling experts in-house as well, of course. Dave Weaver, Andrew Filipponi, and Edric Egros joining us today. They've been crunching all the numbers. They are ready to roll out their upset alerts, Final Four picks, and hey, which team will be cutting down the nets in Indianapolis. So let's get your mind right, you guys. Set you guys up for success right now. Before we get this thing started, you got to download the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now on your phones to place your bets with our experts' advice. It is that easy. And new users, make sure you plug in our promo code MOREWAYS1000. You're going to get your risk-free bet up to $1,000 on that first bet. And it gets better. FanDuel is giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor. New and existing users are eligible for this special offer, so giddy up. All you got to do is make a bet on the tournament. That's why you're here, and it is that easy. You're going to get an additional shot at the payout every single day you place a bet. FanDuel is psyched. The tournament is back, and we know you are too. So we are going to get right to it and bet these games. We know that's why you guys are here, so let's get your info to you. We're tipping things off with the top teams in each region here. We are going to start with the South. Here's a look at the entire bracket. Top seed Baylor earning their first #1 seed ever. The Bears take on 16 seed Hartford, winner of the American East tournament, of course. Dave and Pony, got to get you guys in here. All these top seeds, obviously, they're going to have huge lines in this first round. So the question is, can they cover? And we've got a huge one here, guys. Baylor giving 26 points. Dave, which side are you taking in this matchup?
First of all, come on, Pony, smile. It's tournament time. And not like, it's been 2 years. It's not even been 1 year. It's been 2 years. Get some excitement, Pony. I like Hartford. I love playing these big underdogs in these 116 games. Why does Baylor have to win by 30 points? I think they're content to just get out of this spot and win this game. Hartford's won and covered 5 in a row coming to this one, Pony. I think they'll keep this one a lot closer than some people think. Smile, Pony.
Dave, I'm very serious about my handicapping. So to me, this is no laughing matter. I'm trying to make America money here on this program. I'm going to start with Hartford as well. Look, Baylor, I've watched them a lot this year. The thing with them is when they know they can pace themselves, they do. This is not a marathon, but they need 6 wins to cut down the nets. You look at them against the bottom of the barrel in the Big 12 after their pause. They beat Iowa State by 5 and Kansas State by 6. These are teams that are comparable to Hartford, so I anticipate a much closer game than the 26-point spread.
It's all good, you guys. I got smiles for miles. Hey, Pony, I got you covered all day. Getting to the Midwest region now. Here's a look at that bracket. The #1 seed in this region is Big Ten tournament champion Illinois. Huge favorite here. They'll face Drexel, who won the CAA tournament. And Pony and Ed, when I say huge favorite, a lot of people like them to cut down those necks. The Illini, 22.5-point favorites in this matchup. Got to get through this first. Pony, how are you playing this one?
Well, it's been bet up to 23, Lisa. So in this game, I'm going to go with the underdog again. The Colonial is not used to being in these 116 games. This is a conference that in the last 10 years has actually put teams into the Final Four. And so Drexel does not have a good record, but I anticipate them hanging around. By the net rating, this was the 19th out of 31 conferences, so very surprised that Drexel got put into this matchup. That's why I'm going to take them.
Yeah, Pony, we always play the number in these situations. We're not saying anything more about how far Illinois is going to go in this tournament. And in this particular spot, Illinois is obviously winning this game, but Drexel does come in 35th in America in effective field goal percentage. Cameron Winter, great three-point shooter. James Butler can finish around the rim. The biggest problem for Illinois, to me, is forcing turnovers defensively. They rank outside the top 300 nationally at 16.1%. So if Drexel does get hot here, this could be a closer game than perhaps we would normally anticipate. But I'm not seeing Drexel pulling off some massive upset here. So Illinois is going to win the game, but the spread's way too big. I have the Dragons covering.
Yeah, certainly not a money line play here, you guys. Let's get to the West now, gentlemen, and here's a look at that bracket. The number 1 overall seed, Gonzaga, will face a first 4 winner here. So we're going to focus on the number 2 seed in this region. We got the Iowa Hawkeyes taking on Grand Canyon. The Antelopes won the WAC to punch their ticket here to the dance. Ed, I was giving 14.5 in this one. Which side do you like?
Well, first off, the models have this line exactly where it needs to be. So this is going to be a little tricky in terms of finding an edge. But to me, I'm going to give a slight edge to Iowa when it comes to travel. The games are in Indiana, short trek for the Hawkeyes, while Grand Canyon has to traverse much of the country. And these things have tended to matter in the tournament. Maybe not as much as, say, offensive efficiency, but shorter travel, I think, is significant. Luka Garza can do everything. Iowa protects the ball better than any offense in America. They're a top 15 three-point shooting team at 38.6%. They're not going to foul you. They play defense straight up. So I think Iowa covers 14.5.
Come on, Ed. You know antelopes are some of the greatest travelers that we have here in the United States. So I'm going to think that Grand Canyon can go and get it done. And also, you need to step up your game. You've gone 2 segments, and you haven't used the word Ken Palm yet. So we better get that out of you some point during this game. Grand Canyon plays very good defense. They win a lot of games, but the games that they lose, they're losing in the high 50s and the mid 60s. So I think even if they get beat, they're going to cover, Lisa.
All right, you guys, good stuff here. And as we continue our whip around the regions, we land here in the East. Michigan, you guys, the number 1 overall seed here. They're also taking on a first 4 winner. So just like we did in the last region, we are going to bet the number 2 seed here. That is Alabama, the SEC champion, facing Iona. Dave, the Crimson Tide giving 17 points to Rick Pitino's squad. Let me check, is that still 17? It is. Hey, Rick Pitino, he takes Iona to the dance, and Louisville's not even in this thing. It's tough to bet against him. How do you feel about him getting 17 in this matchup?
I think it's easy to bet against in this spot because Alabama is just amazing at draining threes. Nobody puts up more threes than Alabama in this tournament and in the country, and a lot of those are going to be raining down. Pony, this to me has 93-70 written all over it. I know we've been talking about a lot of underdogs that we like so far, but this is one of the big favorites that I do like. I like Alabama.
Yeah, I almost feel like Pitino's going to walk onto the court. They're going to put him on probation before tip-off. I mean, with his history in the NCAA. I don't know what's going on here, Dave, because I'm in lockstep with you again, which is actually kind of freaking me out after a couple of months away from each other. I like Alabama in this spot. Iona played 1 power conference team this year, Seton Hall, a team that didn't make the tournament, that finished in the middle of the Big East, got waxed by 22. The line in this game is only 17. Bama, best team in the SEC this year, they'll cover the 17, no problem.
Okay, there you go, you guys. That is a look at some of the top teams in the big dance. We've got a lot more ahead for you here on More Ways to Win. What you need to do right now, though, is download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and place your bets. New users, FanDuel has a special offer for you. Sign up for your new account right now. Use that promo code. It's been right there on your screen. This whole show, More Ways 1,000. You'll get your risk-free bet up to $1,000. You see it right there, bottom of your screen. It will be there all day long. More Ways 1,000. Get that risk-free bet. And then, of course, the tournament is all about the upsets. Yes, and picking the right upsets could lead to a huge payout, guys. As you know, underdogs are plus money. So let's get you some right now. Let's bet that first round dogs here, guys. And let's see who our betting experts like here to pull off the upset. Dave, you're going to start us off here. Who's speaking to you here in this first round?
I'm going to try to get a 14 seed home, and that is Morehead State. They're plus 570 on the money line against West Virginia. West Virginia is kind of a hot and cold shooting team. They're very streaky. I think this is a bad matchup for them against the defense of Morehead State. They give up 64 points a game, and they defend the perimeter very well. I think this is a sneaky matchup where Morehead State can get by plus 570. That's a big upset.
Dave, don't expect a Christmas card from my wife. She's a West Virginia alumnus, so you can cross her off the list. You're now persona non grata. I like Utah State, plus 168. That means that risk-free $1,000 wager, you'd collect $2,068 on the Aggies. They were second in America in rebounding margin. And get this, Texas Tech field goal percentage, they were 163rd. So they miss a lot of shots. Utah State's got a 7-footer inside. I like them to pull off the upset.
The defending national champions are going down. Ohio will upset Virginia at plus 295. You really do need to be careful when it comes to those teams that play at a really slow pace. No one is slower than the Cavaliers. We've seen that over the last several years. Ohio comes in 68th in possessions per game. If they impose that tempo, that top 30 offense can keep them competitive. Dwight Wilson, Mark Sears, they can be flexible scoring if it's fast or slow. Virginia has to keep the game slow to keep it competitive. I think Ohio pulls it off.
I'm telling you, Ed, though, that slow pace, that's their secret sauce. All right, you guys, there are dozens of games and hundreds of bets that you can make right now. So time now for our FanDuel segment where we highlight some of the other games on the board for you here in March Madness. This week, two hosts from Sports Grid join us. We got Ariel Epstein, we got Jared Smith, and they are here to take on our More Ways to Win expert bettors. Here is how it works. They each get 100 virtual dollars. With that money, they have to make one spread, one money line bet, and one total bet. The person who makes the most profit wins, and we will crown that person the champion on next week's show. So let's get things started. And of course, on this show, ladies first. So Ariel, you are up. What you got for us?
What's up, More Ways to Win? I'm Ariel Epstein. Here's how I'm going to spend my $100 in the first round of the NCAA tournament. First, I'm going to put $40 on Ohio to cover the spread against Virginia. Ohio averages the 17th most points per game. In addition to the line opening with Virginia at -10, that line move already happened in my favor. Second, I'm putting $40 on San Diego State moneyline against Syracuse. San Diego State is the 11th best team in the country in regards to defensive efficiency. 6 of the 9 losses Syracuse has this year have come against a team that ranks inside the top 50 in defensive efficiency. Lastly, I'm putting $20 on an under Houston-Cleveland State. Houston averages 19 seconds per possession. Is Cleveland State even getting the ball? Good luck to your bets.
All right, my best spread bet of the week. We're going to go $55 on Oregon State as a dog over Tennessee. I'm going to ride the momentum with the Beavers after that Pac-12 tournament title, and I think Tennessee is a little suspect, especially on offense. We're going to go $35 on Loyola Chicago money line over Georgia Tech. I don't fully trust the Ramblers offense to cover the spread here, but they've got the best defense in the country, and I think they get the job done against the Rambling Wreck. And finally, the total, I'll sprinkle my last $10 on the over in Colgate and Arkansas. This game is going to be fun. Both teams top 25 in tempo. It's the highest total on the board by far. And Colgate, how about the Raiders? 3rd in the country in three-point shooting.
All right, great stuff by those two. Let's see what you guys got now. Dave, Pony, Ed, same drill for you. You remember us doing this all NFL season long. You got 100 virtual dollars. I need one spread, one money line, one total bet from each of you. And Dave, you're kicking us off. What you got?
I have no games that match up with any of theirs. I'm going to start out with Georgetown. I think Georgetown actually beats Colorado, but I'm going to take them on the points. It's going to be $27, taking the 4.5. I'm going to save my money line bet for Winthrop because they're actually a little bit of a better odds on the money line, plus 220. This is not the Villanova team of years past. Villanova's favored in this game because they're Villanova and they're wearing those jerseys. But I think Winthrop's the better team. I'll take them on the money line, $46 at plus 220. The other $27 is going to go on the over in the Oral Roberts, Ohio State. Oral Roberts can bomb the threes. Ohio State's obviously going to get theirs too. Over 156.5. That game's going to sizzle.
All right, I'm going to put $50 on Wisconsin to cover against North Carolina. North Carolina led the ACC in turnovers. 270th in the nation in threes. Give me a team out of the best conference in college basketball, the Big Ten, Badgers. $25 money line play on Maryland to upset Connecticut. Maryland, the best defensive team in the Big Ten. Connecticut's second leading scorer is questionable in this game. $25 for me on the over in Dave, Oral Roberts and Ohio State. Look at us finding the same game. Oral Roberts 11th in threes. They make a lot of shots. I'm going to take that game to go way over.
I have missed the Edwardian approach so much. I'm so glad to blow the rust off, and here we go. Baylor might have the best backcourt in the country with Jared Butler, Davian Mitchell, so $1 on the Bears to cover. For a $1 money line upset, I believe we said this before, Morehead State beats West Virginia. They know how to play hoops in the Ohio Valley, and my remaining $98 goes to the Houston Cleveland State under 135. Ariel, you hit the nail on the head. Just got to put more money on it. Cougars have the best effective field goal shooting defense in America. Pace is super slow. Cleveland State may not score 45 in this game.
Awesome stuff. And I love that you just used the Edwardian approach. That has been long gone for too long. All right, those bets all available right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Of course, now you can tail one of our guys or just make your own pick. Do your dang thing. And remember, new users, again, place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 when you sign up for your new account. Use the promo code MOREWAYS1000. You know we got you. All right, back to the brackets now. We'll give you a little sneak peek there. Right now, we are breaking down the one game with the tightest spread in each region. So let's start our with now. We start with the West. It's the 8-9 matchup between Missouri and Oklahoma. Pony and Ed, this game is you. Want to get your take here. The Sooners are a 1.5 point favorite. Pony, do they cover that number?
No, because they're not going to win. I like Missouri a lot in this game. Missouri's problem in the SEC was losing to the bottom of the league. They actually went 9-4 against teams that are in this field, and they beat Illinois and Alabama. They do well against good teams. They struggle with mediocre ones. They're going to beat Oklahoma outright.
I feel like with so much time apart, we just missed each other so much to the point where now we're finishing each other's sentences. So, I'm with you. I'm a little creeped out. I think Missouri got misseeded here. I think they're more of a 7 than a 9. The biggest asset for the Tigers is their ability to get fouls called, go to the line, and sink free throws. Their free throw rate is 37.5%. That's top 40 nationally. Drew Smith, Xavier Pinson, two upperclassmen. They know how to take care of that trend. Konzo Martin versus Lon Kruger, a couple of veteran coaches used to the tournament, no edge there. But I think it's that free throw rate that will make the difference. Give me the Tigers.
All right, you guys, let's move on here and let's get to the South region now. The matchup with the closest spread here is actually the 7-10 matchup between Florida and Virginia Tech. Take a look here, guys. The game is a pick-em for these two pretty evenly matched teams. I'm really interested for your take on why you think you're going to go with what you got, Ed. And I'm coming right to you. How are you playing this game, this pick-em?
Well, first off, these are two of the slower-paced teams in America, so I think the under is really how you should bet this game. But as far as the spread is concerned, shooting's about the same, defense is about the same. Gators are slightly better in terms of offensive rebounders, in part because of 6'11" Colin Castleton. Omar Payne doesn't play a lot of minutes, but if he stays on the floor in some capacity, he can be that physical presence. And so because of that, I'm going to give the slightest edge to Florida here.
Well, there are two trends that are leading me to the other side. I like Virginia Tech. Florida, 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 neutral site games, and they're 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games against a team with a winning record. This is just not a very good spot, I don't think, for Florida. I'll take Virginia Tech.
All right, there you go. Now let's get ourselves to the East region of the bracket here, guys, and back to that 8-9 matchup, which has the tightest spread here in the East. LSU versus St. Bonaventure. Dave, LSU is the favorite, giving 1.5. Do you like the Tigers to cover here against the Bonnies?
No, I'm going to go with St. Bonaventure. And Kyle Lofton, their point guard, has been running a great ship there this year. He plays, I think it was like 38.4 minutes a game. The guy never sits. He just is out there scoring, dishing it off, can get a few rebounds as well. I think that St. Bonaventure's strength of schedule is pretty comparable with that of LSU in a better conference. So I'm going to go with St. Bonnie as a slight dog here.
Disagree. I watch a lot of A-10 basketball. I thought the league was very down this year. Dave, they really only played against themselves because of all the cancellations and COVID problems they had. LSU, I want to talk about underseeded teams. They get to the championship of the SEC tournament. They lose to Alabama by 1 point. And they're in this game, an 8-9 matchup. They've won 7 of 10. They've got great athletes, the 4th leading scorer in America. LSU's going to win this game by double digits.
And last but not least, to the Midwest region as we continue to look at the games with the closest spreads here. Georgia Tech, fresh off their ACC tournament championship. They are taking on Loyola here in this round. And if you remember, they had an incredible run way back in 2018, making it to the Final Four as an 11 seed, guys. But they're not a Cinderella story here in round 1. Loyola is favored by 2.5. Pony, do you like them in this spot?
Totally. I'm with Sister Jean. She's been their lucky rabbit's foot before. I think she's going to do it again. If you go by the net rating, Loyola Chicago should be a 5 seed or even better. I mean, they're 10th in the net rating, which is the NCAA's proprietary measuring tool. They were the #1 defensive team in America. They took that crown away from Virginia this year. Georgia Tech, watched them a lot. They can struggle to score. They got no tournament experience to speak of at all. I like the Ramblers.
Maybe setting myself for failure on this one, but I think this is one of the easier picks in all of the first round. This Loyola Chicago group, better than the one that went to the Final Four. Defensive rebounding is top 3 in America. They do not foul and give up easy points in the charity stripe. They score in the paint at a 58% clip and effective field goal percentage when in transition. That's 66.4%. That is tops in America. That transition game is going to be dangerous. So I think Loyola Chicago wins by double digits.
All right, guys, that was a look at the tightest spreads on the board for you right now. And here is a reminder for you. FanDuel is giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor. This is for new and existing users. Everybody's available and eligible. All you have to do is make a bet on the tournament. I can't even say it. It's so easy. It is so simple. You'll get an additional shot at the payout every single day you place a bet. All you got to do is place your wager. Great stuff by you guys. And now you see the odds for the tournament winner on your screen. Got to get to that champion. You know I want your Final Four picks and your champion, of course. I'm going to get to that in just a second. But first, guys, we have some special guests in the FanDuel family that wanted to get in on the fun here with us today and let us know about their own Final Four predictions and their pick for which team is cutting down the nets in Indy. Worldwide Wob, yes, Rob Perez, you're starting us off. Who you got?
Rob Perez, Worldwide Wob here. March Madness Final Four, let's go. San Diego State comes out as the 6th seed. Yes, San Diego State. The same San Diego State that was 53-6 dating back to the beginning of last regular season. That is no fluke. Give me Baylor in their lockdown half-court defense. Give me Texas in their star power with Shaka Smart at the helm. And then ultimately, Iowa, led by Luka Garza, senior shooting, Wieskamp. They will not only conquer the Zags, but win the national title.
Let the madness begin. My anxiety is starting to set in as I look at this bracket. I love upsets, so I'm going to start you off with one. The Oregon Ducks out of the West region. Everyone seems to be on board with Gonzaga having an undefeated season, but I don't, since they haven't had a true tough matchup since 2020. Then in the East region, I have Florida State making the run to the Final Four, beating Michigan State in the Sweet 16, and then Alabama in the Elite 8. On the other side of the bracket, I have Ohio State beating Baylor in the South region to make it to the Final Four, and ultimately playing Illinois out of the Midwest region. Overall, I think Illinois takes it all. Despite having a tough top half of that bracket, I think that's the team to bet on this year.
How are they going to get to the Final Four? This way. Gonzaga will beat Iowa to get there. Florida State and Texas, I like Florida State to get there. Illinois will take on West Virginia. Illinois gets there. Baylor takes on Ohio State, and Baylor gets there. So Baylor against Illinois, I'm going Illinois. The Zags against Florida State, I'm going Zags. In the championship, give me the Fighting Illini to ruin Gonzaga's perfect season. How about the Illini winning the national championship? Shake out.
My Final Four includes 2-seed Ohio State, 2-seed Iowa, who has the best player in the country in Luka Garza. I have 7-seed UConn, who has Book Knight, who has proven his dominance on the court, and the rest of his team has followed suit. Lastly, I have 1-seed Illinois, who I believe will take it all. Best of luck, guys.
Hey, Cousin Sal here with my Final Four for the 2021 NCAA tournament. It's Iowa, it's Baylor, it's Illinois, and it's Dua Lipa. Wow. Florida State. Iowa, Baylor, Illinois, Florida State. Bet those all at FanDuel.
There it is. Cousin Sal. Thank you, Cousin Sal. All right, love having our extended family here hanging out with us on More Ways to Win. Thanks to everyone for their picks. And by the way, make sure to check out Cousin Sal's new sports betting book. You can't lose them all. It is available right now on Amazon. And I have to tell you, I ripped through that book and I laughed my face off the entire time. It is so good. You can find it on Amazon right now. Thanks again to our FanDuel family for joining us here on More Ways to Win today. That was awesome. All right, you guys, you heard their picks. I am now going to get your tournament champion in just a second. But first, we're going to focus on the Final Four futures. You see the odds for some of the favorites here to make the Final Four on your screen right now. So let's rock this thing out, you guys, and get all of your regional winners. Dave, I am coming to you first.
Also on Amazon, Cousin Sal, they sell tripods. Yeah, you put your phone on there and it doesn't have to shake as much. Okay, I'm going to go with Gonzaga. I'm going to go with Texas. I'm going to go with Baylor in Illinois. There were a lot of crazy picks there. There's my bracket, by the way. There were a lot of crazy picks there. I'm very chalky. 3 1 seeds and a 3 seed.
Well, and you're trying to buck that he can't lose them all trend, Dave, as we know. Listen, I think Gonzaga, there's a whole misnomer about them that, you know, they play in the Sweet Conference, so they're not tested. They blew out Iowa, West Virginia. They played Villanova. They played good teams early in the year, and they've used that formula to get to the Final Four before. So I'm going with them. Baylor, best three-pointing shooting team in America. Florida State, best depth in America. And my sleeper to get there, even though they're a 2 seed, no one seems to like them, is Houston with Kelvin Sampson out of the American.
Dave, what color crayon did you use to fill out your bracket? That one I need an answer to right away. I fill mine out with computer code, and I'm going out on a real limb here. Gonzaga, Baylor, and Illinois is my 1 seeds, but there's always one quadrant that's a little bit wacky, and I think that's going to be the one with Michigan. They don't have their second best player. Alabama's three-point offense and defense is tricky to diagnose, so I'm going to go completely outside of the box and pick St. Bonaventure. That's a unique style of defense with a slow pace that'll either get them ousted in the first game or take them all the way to the Final Four. Nothing in between.
Why not take a flyer? Yes. Okay, Final Four check done. As Jess Sims on Peloton would say, all right, you guys, time now for the winner of this whole dang thing. You see the odds on your screen right now. Same drill, guys. Give me your tournament winner and explain why. Dave, who is your favorite to cut down the nets in Indianapolis?
My favorite is the favorite. Everybody's trying to pick this big long shot to beat the best team all year long. Gonzaga has been the #1 team. They're going to sweep everything and go undefeated this season. They'll beat Illinois in the final 74-66.
And that would have been the first undefeated season since 1976, which I think would have been what, Dave? Your 40th birthday? You celebrated it back then, if I do believe, something like that. I'm going to take Baylor. Modern basketball is about making threes and playing defense, and that's Baylor to a T. You know, teams usually don't win their conference tournament and carry the momentum into the championship. Virginia got ousted a couple of years ago in the ACC, didn't win their conference. Baylor got beat by Oklahoma State. I think they rally and win it all.
We are going to talk about this Gonzaga team as one of the great college basketball teams of all time after they go ahead and finish undefeated. Jalen Suggs is a top 3 NBA pick, and he's not carrying this team. The seniors are. Give me the Zags.
All right, you guys. That is a wrap. Let March Madness begin. For Dave, Pony, and Adam, Lisa Kerney, we'll see you right back here next week.
TVG Saturday. Your winning hand is Texas Champions Day from Sam Houston Race Park. Chips are down for 7 stakes races worth $100,000 each. Bet to win Saturday night. Sam Houston, first post, 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific.
We just liked everything about him. He was just put together like a machine, and he had a great mind. Everything about him was what you'd want.
Here's the law goes right on by. 'Tis the law. The New York bred pops the cork in the champagne.
He went on from there. The next 11 months, he won 4 Grade 1s and a Grade 3, a second in the Kentucky Derby, and $2 3/4 million.
Less than a 16th to go in the Florida Derby, and it's time to respect the law. 'Tis the law is your Florida Derby winner.
I've never seen him get tired.
'Tis the law is going to win the first leg of the Triple Crown.
The most impressive race for me with 'Tis the Law was the Travers. I thought he ran like a true champion in there.
He's left the others behind. He's going to win the Run Happy Travers.
His structure is just perfect. His bone is perfect. He's everything you would look for in a horse.
'Tis the Law, new to Coolmore America.
TVG Saturday. 3-year-old fillies in a Kentucky Oaks prep. The Grade 2 Fairgrounds Oaks. Brought to you by Gormley, standing at Spendthrift Farm. Play Saturday. Fairgrounds, first post, 12:20 Eastern, 9:20 Pacific.